Bumpy in the wise old Wolfhound isn't good, but at the same time, it's better than the episode that I reviewed yesterday. Because to be perfectly real, considering that Bingo is in the hospital, it really feels accurate for Bluey to do something in order to cheer up her younger sister. In the fan-made video, Bluey, being Barticus, is taking care of her dog Bumpy, who is really sick, in the same way as Bingo is in this episode at the hospital. Now, I understand that the intentions is to have Bingo being self-insulted as Bumpy, who is the dog of Barticus. Like, I can totally understand what Bluey was trying to do while making this fan-made video. But considering that this is done in the same fashion as the We Bare Bears Crowbar Jones episodes, I'm going to assume that what they did in this episode is just trying to make the humor mainly of just trying to adjust the camera while also having the characters remember the lines completely. And it ended up in the final cut, and while I understand that Bluey isn't really a filmmaker unlike Grizz from We Bare Bears, it doesn't change the fact that I didn't enjoy the humor in this episode. I can understand what they're trying to do, but that doesn't mean that I enjoyed the humor. But to give this episode credit, it's cuter than the last episode. Like, I understand you may not agree with my opinions on the last episode, but I have to admit that the moments involving Bumpy and Barticus is actually really good. Granted, I've seen other material done better, but that doesn't automatically mean that anything involving this is terrible. Socks, who is Bumpy in this, is the cousin of Bluey, and considering that this is the only time I'm gonna be witnessing Socks in this, I have to admit, she really did a good job into representing the situation that Bingo is in when it comes to being sick. Like, I have to admit that the scenes evolving around her, despite the unfunny scenes, are really good to look at. Like, I'm starting to convince that there was development between Socks and Bluey before this episode. Then again, this episode is part of the first season, so I can tell that there was probably a lot more scenes involving Bluey and Socks. When it comes to the ending, I have to admit, it's the best ending I've seen, but compared to what I'm gonna be reviewing tomorrow, it's second place. It's definitely second place. So for me personally, there are bits and pieces that I actually enjoyed from this episode, especially the ending, but at the same time, the issues are mostly there. I just didn't find the comedy that good compared to We Bare Bears Crowbar Jones episodes. Granted, it could be a coincidence considering that One Single Bear is somewhat of a better filmmaker than a longer dog, but that's not really a good comparison knowing full well that Bluey spent her life with a family, all the while that Grizz didn't have a family. In all honesty, the more I think about it, it's honestly weird that I prefer a bear who never had a family is a good filmmaker, while a little dog who is somewhat of a filmmaker by making these videos for her sister just isn't. Is that really a good thing or a bad thing? I'm giving this episode a 5.75 out of 10, and we're gonna be wrapping up Bluey Week tomorrow.